Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another lecture on human factors engineering. We were on module 1, that is body centered or physical ergonomics, and today we will discuss design of manual handling tasks. So that is our topic 1-4. These are the references that I consulted to prepare the slides for this lecture. Lecture 1-4 is further divided into two parts. In part A, we will discuss some general guidelines related to manual material handling. And in part B, we will discuss the NIOSH lifting equation. Learning objectives for part A are to understand important factors in manual material handling and their role in developing musculoskeletal disorders. And secondly, we will discuss some general guidelines in manual material handling. So manual material handling is an important application of ergonomic principles that particularly address back injury prevention. Manual material handling is the most common cause of occupational fatigue and low back pain. There are other causes like we discussed poor posture to be one of the causes of fatigue and musculoskeletal disorders like low back pain. We also discussed the design of the task and workstation. If that is poor, it can cause fatigue and some disorders, including the low back pain. But manual material handling is the most common cause. The material handling is a task that almost every worker performs, either as a one-time or infrequent duty or as part of regular work. This is a very common task especially in manufacturing organizations. And it is not specific only to the employees that are dedicated to material handling, but almost every worker performs some sort of material handling. So that is why it is a very common cause of different occupational problems related to health. There are different factors related to manual material handling tasks. One is the weight of the load lifted. So it is obvious that greater is the weight, the greater will be the risk to the person performing that task. As a rule of thumb, 20 kilograms is thought to be a safe load for a healthy worker. So lifting loads over 20 kilograms result in an increased number and severity of back injuries. The second factor is the range of the lift. The preferred range for lifting is between knee and waist height. So you can say that is the vertical orientation of the weight. So lifting above the waist height and below the knee height is more hazardous. Another factor is the location of the load in relation to the body. A load lifted far from the body poses more stress on the back than the same load lifted closer to the body. So that is distance h of the load from the body. And we discussed this factor in great detail in our previous topic on biomechanics, and we mathematically evaluated the effect of increasing and decreasing this distance h of the load from the body. The fourth factor is the size and shape of the load. A bulky object is harder to lift than a compact one of the same weight. So bulky or loose object is difficult to handle as compared to compact object of the same weight. And the bulky object cannot be brought close to the body. So lifting a bulky object also forces a worker into an awkward and potentially unbalanced position. So more loose or bulky or irregular is the object, the more difficult it is to be picked and placed. Yet Another factor is the number and frequency of lifts performed. So it is obvious that greater is the frequency of lifts, the more tiring is the task. But there is another factor related to the frequency, and that is highly repetitive manual material handling tasks also make the worker bored and less alert. So the monotony is also greater. So this in turn can affect the safety of the worker. And final factor is the posture. We saw in our previous topic on biomechanics that bending in the sagittal plane is the natural movement that is performed in material handling tasks. But of course, that should not be too much. But that forward bending or flexion combined with side bending increases the risk of injury to the backbone. And that combined with twisting further increases the risk. So forward bending should not be excessive. It should not be combined with side bending and or twisting. Now we will discuss this point in some detail in the following slides. But as a whole, these factors, the weight of the load, the range of the lift or the vertical position of the load, the horizontal location of the load, size and shape of the load, the grip or the coupling of the load, that depends upon the shape, the frequency of lifts and posture. So these factors are actually used in the Neosh lifting equation as a whole that we will discuss in the following segment. So you will see these factors mathematically there as well, and we will evaluate their impact on the manual material handling tasks. So we will see some very general guidelines related to manual material handling. So you can see in this posture, the back is straight, the neck is also almost straight, and the load is placed between the feet. So the center of gravity of this person, the upper body of this person, as well as this load falls within the base of support of this person. So that actually will make it easy to lift this load. In contrast to that, on the left side, in this figure, this person is bending almost at 90 degree and the load is placed in front of the body. So there will be a torque applied by the load on the backbone. There will be a torque that will be generated because of the weight of the upper body as well. And you can see that in order to lift this load, the person will have to overcome the torque because of the weight of his upper body as well. So of course, this is much better way to lift the load than this one. So in this figure, you can also observe some good practices related to manual material handling. For example, the angle of the knee is approximately 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees. The arms are held closer to the body. There is some angle of the arms with the trunk, but they must be as close to the body as possible. The back is straight and the chin is tucked in, which tends to further straighten the back while lifting. So this neck as a whole shouldn't be bent as well. It should be straight. So that is the case in this situation as well. And the load is closer to the body. So if it were farther from the body, for example, again, the same problems would occur as we discussed in our previous topic of biomechanics. So load should be as close to the body and preferably, if possible, between the legs to make it easy to lift the load. So here you can see again that weight should be carried with straight arms. So arms are straight. This reduces the tension in the upper arm and shoulder muscles. So just imagine if the arm was bent, the lower arm was, for example, making, say, some angle with the upper arm. So that would cause the tiredness and that would make the task very much difficult as a whole. So this is again the concept of neutral posture that we repeatedly discussed in our uh, topic of work posture. So arms are straight and back and neck are straight. And you can also observe that the base of sport is also quite wide. So that will also make the posture much stable. Here again, the arms are straight while the load is being lifted. They are almost straight. The feet are placed apart to prepare for the forward movement. And again, the base of support is quite wide in this case as well. And we have discussed it that the wider the base of support, the more stable is the posture. We also discussed that the larger muscles should be used where possible. So this figure illustrates how a load can be raised to bench height by using leg muscles. So thigh muscles are bigger muscles, the stronger muscles. So this reduces the risk of back strain. So the, the bigger muscles are actually involved. So that reduces the load on the other muscles, including the back. And finally, if possible, two people should lift the load, but some precautions are to be observed. For example, there could be chances of slip or trip or fall accident if there is no synchronization between the people who are carrying the load. But what happens is that this load that is being lifted gets resolved into two components when two persons are handling the load. But care must be taken when two people are handling the load. So these were some basic factors and guidelines related to manual material handling, and we will see how these factors, the few factors that we discussed in the beginning, are incorporated in the NIOSH lifting equation in our next segment.